I always thought you were from Cape Verde growing up. Yeah, that was the point. That was the point. Buy the music, don't think. So, explain to me what is Sigui Sabura.
So Sigui Sabura, it's a company. It's me and two other partners, Osvaldo Teixeira and Socrates Carvalho Suka. So we've been in the market for about, I would say, roughly 8 years. So it started when I came back from the US after
How long did you
graduating.
live in the US?
I lived there for 7 years. So I got my degree. Uh, when I came back, I took the
Did
leap
you
of
live
faith.
in
I was
Did
like,
you live in Cape Verde in the US or somewhere else?
no, I left. I was born here. I I left when I was 18. I went to the US.
Yeah,
I
but
got my
did you
degree.
go to the Cape Verdean part of the US?
No, no, no. Actually, no. I went to school in this town called Amherst, Massachusetts. It's close to Connecticut. I went to UMass
Okay.
Amherst.
Okay, you were not far, but you
Uh,
were not in Brockton.
no, no, not in Brockton, not in Boston. I would be there only in the weekends. So my experience was completely different.
Remind me that I
You
have a
know.
question about Brockton that I have to ask you.
Okay.
But go
I
ahead.
don't know if I'm the right person to answer that, but
I
you
mean,
can ask.
you live there, and but I have a question that I've been asking myself for years. But go
Yeah.
ahead first.
So I went there. Then when you leave Cape Verde, you always have in the back of your mind, it's like I would go get my degree, come back, and that's the process with a lot of folks. So I took that leap of faith. I came. My partners, we knew that there was a lack in the market, right? So as far as entertainment, as far as like quality events, so we started doing events, and rapidly we created several concepts that we wanted to do events and all over the islands, and we also wanted to hit the diaspora. So a lot of the projects we came up with was the I Love project, which was a way to connect Cape Verde with the diaspora. Because Cape Verde, I mean, you're familiar with it, but it's an economy that works with tourism, either
Yeah.
from locals or from folks that come. It's a tourist-based country. It's a country that 23% of the GDP is based on tourism, right? So that was a way for us to go to all the islands and create a 10 gig type, 9 gig type of market. So we had like a calendar that was busy. So we took the time to visit all the islands and do like a docu series. If you go on the Sigui Sabura on YouTube, you can see it, and document all the storytellers, document all the famous composers, visit all the famous locations to create a content. And this was on the early stage. Internet, the social network didn't have a weight in the Cape Verdean, let's say, environment. But I was coming from the US where Facebook was like starting to peak. So I kind of brought that experience with me. So after we did that, rapidly we was like, okay, let's hit the diaspora. So we end up hitting Portugal, Luxembourg, Holland, the US. And we always wanted to do it in specific locations, prime locations. So our last event in Portugal was at Meu Arena. Our last event in the US was at Alex Anani City Center, right? And then we created the other brands, which is a New Year brand, which is called Aloha. We ended up doing another concept, which was called Scape, which we were trying to look at all the best beaches in Cape Verde, which is Sal, Praia, Fogo. It's been an interesting ride. We ended up opening a spot, a club, and it's been an interesting ride as far as like promoting the country, linking up with artists. I think we've worked with pretty much all the artists in the Cape Verdean scene. Um, I mean, 9 years, man, no, 8 years, right? And right now we kind of like on standby mode because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So that's our page. You can
Yeah,
see
that's what I'm.
all of our events there, all of our promotion, our after movies.
So you have I love from every island. I love Fogo. I love Brava. I
I
love
love from every
Mario.
island.
Mm-hmm.
Then they are kind of like a docu-series after movie type of promotion.
Okay.
And then we have the skate, which is a daytime event. And then we have other dates like Halloween. But these are all high level production events
Mm-hmm.
where we brought lighting, staging, scene building. Um, and then we have a low, which is the New Year event, which is a 1 day New Year event at a beach.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been instrumental in trying to create this new type of business model. Because as you know, Cape Verde, there's a lot of festivals, but they are done by localities. So we have the largest, I would say, private event in Cabo Verde right now.
Okay.
So a route that we wanted to go with our Love Project is to start to invite other artists from different nationalities. The reason why the I Love Project was important is because when I went to school in the US, I've noticed this you have second, third, and fourth generation Cape Verdeans that have
Mm-hmm.
never had that contact with the island, right?
Okay.
So it was a way for us to approach and to promote the culture, to promote the destiny. A lot of folks that perhaps would never had a way to interact with the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So after we did that, we noticed that a lot of folks will reach out, will get in contact with us. A lot of business people that, let's say, would want to come and do some investments in Cape Verde, that investment will come through us, and we will explain and kind of introduce how the country works. So soon enough, we became like ambassadors almost to a lot of folks, right? So I have a lot of folks that come to the island, they hit me up, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to invest, what do you suggest? So it's been an interesting 8 years. And then we're dealing with logistics too. Logistics in a, in an island nation, it's tough, right? So you need to, we are a business.
Boats,
So we
planes.
need exactly boats, planes, transportation, logistics. So we delve into a lot of different areas, right? Most recently, we also do corporate events. So we diversify some of our business models. We've done brand launches. We've done the biggest kachup in the world for the Guinness World Record.
Nice.
And you name it. It's been an interesting 8 years.
But that's amazing.
Uh,
That's amazing because what I see from most people, labels, artists, managers, is a kind of adversity to the idea of change.
True.
And what I've heard the most in the past 1 year and a half is I can't wait for things to go back to the way they were. And I look at them like, don't they realize that things will never go back to the way they were? Things will go
No,
to something new. Things will, the most of the clubs that they're dead. A lot of places will not open. A lot of the restaurants that I've been used to go the past 7 years in my neighborhood, they closed because, yeah, they didn't survive. And
and you
most of
and,
these
and you live
people,
in Vasco da Gama, right?
yeah, I live in Expo, Parque das
Yes,
Nações.
yeah. So a lot of
And,
folks are, yeah, a
and,
lot of restaurants are not coming back.
and this is the rich neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I have these Italian restaurants that, yeah, me and my wife, this is our spot. And like it's always been there. And now there's nothing in there. It's not like something replaced. No, there's nothing. You can see that they moved everything out, and you can see that it's, yeah, you have this big thing for sale. And so the world is about to change. This is a flushing event. There's like a lot of people will not, a lot of clubs that a lot of people are doing something else. Some people are just changed jobs and they were like, no, I don't want to be in this industry anymore because I'd rather build houses, I'd rather do this, I'd rather do that. So yeah, of course you're gonna have shows, but the people that you used to talk to are not gonna be the same.